Greetings, gamer guys and gals, and welcome back to part 43 of my Let's Play Pokemon Colosseum. Thank you for joining me today, as we are here in familiar sights and familiar lands. We are indeed in Mount Battle. But this Mount Battle is the battle mode Mount Battle that occurs outside of the story. Now, you can use whatever Pokemon you desire, whatever Pokemon you have in-game. You cannot use any traded Pokemon for this interesting little event we've got going on here, going through the Mount Battle through the battle mode. You must have all your Pokemon purified, and you must have caught them all too, so there's that, in order for you to receive the final reward after beating this mode. Some might say, and I would be one of those folks, this is not worth your time. Mount Battle is an incredible hassle. It goes along with that trope, and unfortunately it just is a hassle. Mount Battle is the lowest point in either Pokemon Colosseum or Pokemon XD, in my humble opinion. That has to do with the fact that these areas basically, now this in the battle mode makes sense, but these areas are basically like the Battle Frontier or the Battle Maison or the Battle Tower or Battle this, that, and the other, that are post-game only things where you can go through a gauntlet of enemies, gaining battle points, and in this case, Poke Coupons, and just sort of like do it for competitive reasons only. Now, as I showed my Pokemon team, I'm going to get them back up here again, they are all much higher level than I originally intended. I was originally going to get them between 65 and 71-ish. But then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go just a little bit further. So I wanted to get to around like 75. And then I said, well, it's kind of stupid for me to just leave my Pokemon around 75-ish when we're only a few levels away from Suicune, Raikou, and Entei being able to learn Calm Mind. Now, looking at the summaries of our Pokemons, we can see I've also bought a few. I mean, I grinded a lot. A lot in order to get these Pokemon to these levels, and then I used whatever remaining rare candies I had in order to give them like their last couple of levels, because I was so sick of grinding. It's one of the reasons why Tyranitar, Skarmory, and Flygon are not level 82. However, they have their complete movesets and items. Hard Stone on Tyranitar boost rock type moves by 20%. Use the PP ups that I had. These are basically the final movesets. I actually bought leftovers with the Poke Coupons I had in Colosseum, because I did quite a bit more grinding. And I have Double Team on Skarmory, Toxic, so on and so forth, Mystic Water on Suicune, Calm Mind on Suicune. I replaced Mirror Coat. I was never intending on keeping Mirror Coat anyway, because it's kind of, I mean, it's useful on Suicune, but it's actually more useful on Suicune if you're going to do like a combination Calm Mind and Mirror Coat, and I was not willing to throw away Rain Dance for Mirror Coat, or Ice Beam for Mirror Coat, for instance. Hydro Pump, again, is one of those unfortunate issues where it's like, I wish I had caught Suicune earlier in the game when you first encountered Suicune, because then she would have had Surf, and I would have been much happier about that. But, you know, Hydro Pump is the strongest water type move at this point in the series, besides Hydro Cannon. But that, oh no, there's also Water Spout. I'm forgetting some things here. Doesn't matter, either way. Strongest move that Suicune can learn. Thunder, Crunch, Calm Mind, and Reflect, so I replaced Quick Attack on Raikou. One of the reasons why I did that was because Raikou is, bar none, one of the fastest Pokemon there is, at least in Generation 3, or by this point in the series. Quick Attack made no sense. A 40 base power normal type move that I do not get stab on. I don't care if it has priority or not, it's just pointless. I don't even think extreme speed is that good on Pokemon that don't get stab off of it, if we're being real. There's only a handful of Pokemon that I would use extreme speed on that don't get stab from it, like Rayquaza. And we're not using Rayquaza, so we don't have to worry about that. Flamethrower, Sunny Day, Solar Beam, Stomp. Entei is the only Pokemon of this team that I kind of feel like maybe could have a better moveset here. Now, Flamethrower, Sunny Day, Solar Beam are actually a good combination for Entei. It's not terrible, but I should have probably replaced Stomp with Hyper Beam because Hyper Beam has way more attack. The only reason, or base power, the only reason why I use Stomp is because it's got a 30% chance to cause flinching, and I can spam it. So that's how I justified that. And because our friend here, Entei, has a blistering attack compared to his special attack, I kind of went the way of saying he needs to have at least one physical attacking move. And basically, normal type, I believe, is the only type of moves he learns in this game that are physical, which is a shame. Flygon also has Earthquake, Dragon Breath, Flamethrower, and Screech. Now, I kept Screech on Flygon because I didn't know what to give him, but it really doesn't matter. If we're being very real here, both Entei and Flygon are the weakest links in my team, and because of the way that Mount Battle works in the battle mode, you take in 6 Pokemon, but you can only use 4 per battle. And the enemy only has 4 per battle. The enemy also has all of his Pokemon the exact same level as your highest level. So you basically pick 4 out of the 6. And you pick strategically. That's basically why that's there. This is a competitive kind of mode for earning Pokecoupons kind of deal. It's a lot of the Pokemon in this mode are competitively viable, strong, capable, have a good moveset. Now, that's not to say all. We are already at the halfway point in this battle mode because I have decided that I am not going to be showing off area leaders. I'm going to be showing off only the Pokemon battles that have legendary Pokemon in them. And I know that sounds kind of weird and arbitrary, but it's just what I want to do because I like the legendary Pokemon. Legendary Pokemon are like my reason why I play Pokemon. I mean, it's my #1 reason. It's not the only, but I love legendary Pokemon. There's almost none that I don't love for one reason or another. So the reality is that that's the decision I'm making here. So we're at battle 51 right now, and the fact of the matter is that every area leader prior to this had either pre-evolved or middle evolved form Pokemon. There were a few trainers in the first 50 battles that had fully evolved Pokemon. Usually they weren't any good, like Ledian. This mode angers me. It's the only part of Colosseum and XD that I don't like is Mount Battle. Because in reality, these games are awesome. They're my favorite in the series. But Mount Battle brings them both down so much. It is such a terrible place. I wish that Mount Battle only existed within the last 20 battles. And then they just like fully rearranged it or did something or another. Because this is a grind. This is, in my opinion, a waste of time. Now, if you want 100% in this game, if you want 100% completion, you have to do this. Now, you don't have to do it in the story unless you are seriously wanting literally 100% and you have to have the 3rd time flute. Then you kind of do. And then you have to do it twice. It's not as egregious as an XD, though. Because in that game, if you want to 100% that game, you have to beat Mount Battle at least 3 times. I'm not even kidding. And it kind of blows my mind that that's even something I can say out of my mouth. But, that being said, I didn't necessarily bring y'all here to lecture you. It's just, I was just talking about some things that specifically hold true to my feelings about this game and about Pokemon in general. The series is amazing, in my opinion, for what it is and for what it does. It's a single-player RPG that is more family-oriented, more wholesome, more geared towards kids and younger folk. So there's a lot of folks out there who kind of misconstrue what Pokemon is supposed to be. They think that this is supposed to be like a competitively viable game, or it's supposed to have like the most amazing graphics of all time, or the best gameplay of all time, or the best story of all time. The problem with all that is that none of that has ever been what Pokemon has gone for. And what's weird is that you even hear it from people who are Gen 1ers, or like early Pokemon players. You know, Gen 1, 2, maybe even 3. You hear people saying like Sword and Shield were bad, terrible games because they only had 400 Pokemon in their regional decks, and the story was too simplistic and too childish. And it's like, do you guys not understand that Pokemon is a child's game? I mean, I'm kind of failing to see how people can't understand that. So I just don't know. I don't get it. Now, I'm extremely stoked for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I can't wait to play those. Those games look amazing. In fact, out of all the games that have released this year, they are the ones that look the greatest in my opinion. It's unfortunate that I have to say that, because we were really hoping for Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp to come out. I'm definitely doing a playthrough of that. I'm doing a blind playthrough of both. I'm playing through them both. 1 and 2. Never played Advance Wars 1 and 2 before. And I am going to be playing Scarlet when it comes out, and I can't not wait for that. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. But as we are in Pokemon Colosseum right now, and very close to finishing up this game, let's go ahead and check out battle number 51, shall we? You look strong, but so am I. Mount Battle versus 100. Trainer number 51. Cool Trainer Berkey. And he happens to have a Latias on his team. Alright, so how this works is basically you have to use the D-pad and the X and Y buttons to choose which Pokemon you have. Entei and Flygon, unfortunately, are going to be left out of the overwhelming majority of my fights. And it's kind of just an unfortunate side effect of the fact that Tyranitar and Skarmory are busted. I have literally beat the last 50 battles without switching it a single time. Tyranitar and Skarmory are just that broken of a combination. They perfectly synergize with one another when it comes to movesets that I supported with them, as well as their typings and whatever. Suicune and Raikou are great helps to both Tyranitar and Skarmory, whereas Entei and Flygon don't really give too much. They're not bad Pokemon, but they are not necessary Pokemon. Cool Trainer Berkey would like to battle. Sent out Kirlia and Miltank. Now, if he doesn't use Latias, I'm going to be upset, because that was the whole reason why I stopped my grinding so that we could get some recording, was because of the fact that he has Latias. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and spam out a little bit of Crunch there. Drill Peck on Miltank, I guess. Ooh, Brick Break. This could KO. Okay, no. Even if that was Stab, it wouldn't have KO'd. That's amazing. 4 times effective against my good friend Tyranitar. Alright, Crunch should kill Kirlia pretty easily. Miltank is going to be a problem. I'm going to have to double down on Miltank next turn. So, for sure, because we're going to be losing Tyranitar if we get hit too many more times. And Zai. Or Zay, or whatever. Such a weird name for a Pokemon. And it's pronounced It's supposed to be pronounced as if it's like French and has an accent mark on the E, but there is no accent mark on the E in any of the games like now. So when people call her Illumise, like, I almost want to say, well, I kind of don't care that Pokemon says that that's no longer the pronunciation. People grew up with the pronunciation not having the mark there. Like, you gotta be straightforward with the way you make names and pronunciations in RPGs and other games and stuff like that, for people to really understand and get behind it, I'd say. All right, so we're gonna do another drill peck on Miltank. Hopefully we don't miss any one of these Pokemon with the rock slide. We're going to need that damage. And Lies use Covet, a very, very weird move. It's basically Thief, but normal type. Even more incredibly weird move because Illumise here does not have a open item slot. Ooh. Well, this means that we're gonna have to switch out our good friend. I actually kind of want to switch out both my Pokemon. Let's see if he did bring Latias into this fight. Okay, Cool Trainer Berkey sent out Latias, which I'm kind of really glad about. So we are going to be switching, and part of the reason why we're going to be switching is because our answer to Latias is in Suicune. Besides that, we can get out of Reflect, do some Calm Minds. Rain Dance. So Reflect, Rain Dance is going to be turn 1. Calm Mind for both my Pokemon turn 2. It actually depends on how much damage I'm taking. Okay, nothing from that Frustration. Which kind of makes me wonder if that Frustration happens to be like the lowest possible, like that Latias has like the highest possible friendship, which would be very weird for the CPU to have been programmed that way. Like, why would it learn Frustration? Miltank is gone. Yeah, in all reality, we don't really have to do Reflect Rain Dance right now because I could just Ice Beam Latias. It's not going to KO, but if I double down, I have Crunch. So, yeah, this is, I mean, that was a critical hit. I did like how. Pretty sure the Sand Stream was doing more damage to Raikou there. Why I activated Rain Dance there is beyond me. But we're going to go ahead and go with it. Flow with it. Flow with the rain. Alright, this Crunch, super effective. Decent damage. Not even stab, and it was decent damage. A lot of people like saying that, you know, I've watched a lot of things about competitive battling, especially in Gen 3, and people will be like, well, Latias and Latios, they shape their metagames, and they're just utterly broken Pokemon. And it's like, I just used Crunch. Non-stab on Raikou and it did half health damage. Like, what do you mean? But, you know, it could just be my own ignorance because I'm not in the competitive scene, but oh well. Player defeated Cool Trainer Berkey. You were the stronger of the two of us. Yes, I was. You had a legendary Pokemon, arguably better than anybody on my team except for Tyranitar, and still lost. A perfect win. Congratulations. You have earned an extra continue. Continue or suspend. You can suspend at any time in this game, including, for some unknown reason, it asks you right here, literally right after your challenge, or right after your battle is beaten. Like, why would you ask that, though? I kind of just don't understand. I guess it's for, like, sake of just in case you clicked out of it or something. But yeah, you can suspend at any point and continue this challenge at any point with your registered Pokemon at any point. And it doesn't matter. You can go back into the story and grind your Pokemon, and as long as you haven't re-registered or whatever, or so on and so forth, the way you registered your Pokemon is exactly how they stay in the battle mode, from what I understand. Now, another interesting thing about this is that whenever you get a flawless victory, you get an extra continue. I probably have like, I don't know, 50 of those extra continues, 48, somewhere around there, extra continues. I don't know how many it is. I'm guessing it's the number of times I've won full on, like, without losing a Pokemon. So, potentially even 51, I don't know. And what that means, each and every time you fail a battle, you need to use a continue. If you have no continues, you have to start, I believe it's either from the beginning of that area again, or all over again. It's one of the two. I don't know for an absolute fact either one, but let me tell you this. If you come into this mount battle and can't beat even at least the first 30 fights without taking a single loss, you are poor. You have a poor team, a poorly developed team that is incapable of dealing with Mount Battle, period. Because Mount Battle in the battle mode goes from being stupid easy to stupid difficult. The last 10-20 fights in Mount Battle are legitimately stupid difficult. So just keep that in mind. But as for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and cut us out here and come back the next time we have a legendary Pokemon battle. I'll see you guys later. And we are back, gamer guys and gals. Can you believe it? We were at 51 the last time there was a legendary battle, and we're all the way at 85 before we see another legendary Pokemon. It's kind of a bit wacky-to-backy how these areas work. And to be honest, like I said, the last, I'd say, dozen areas were actually quite difficult. And I ended up losing a Pokemon or two here or there. Nothing crazy or anything like that, but it does happen. You have to be very careful, because if you don't have the proper team or coverage, or you go into a battle and let's say all of the Pokemon, for instance, are fire types, and you have no way to deal with fire types, well, you might just come out of there a little bit worse for wear. So without further ado, let's go on and see what legendary we have to face in Area 85. I like that look you have in your eyes. Mount Battle versus 100, trainer number 85, Hunter Spez. And he has a Registeel. Very cool Pokemon. We're going to be doing the normal, I think. He does have two steel types, which would make you think, well, you know, why don't you just use Entei? But Entei has his own problems. Metagross and Armaldo. My Tyranitar and Skarmory. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and Earthquake here, and we're also going to double team. Yeah, so I have double team because we need hacks of our own sometimes. Sometimes we need to be prepared for the ability to take advantage of the broken things in these games. For instance, the last, I would say, 10 or so areas I found... Oh, this might fail. Close. Very close. Unfortunately close. Ooh, Armaldo used Earthquake. Well, Tyranitar is gone. How very unfortunate. Metagross is gone as well. That's what happens when you're stupid. Sort of like a Dakini thing. Alright, so we're going to bring out Suicune. We don't want Raikou out on the field when the Earthquake's being thrown out. Great Dilly. And Armaldo. So what we're going to do here first and foremost is use a Calm Mind. We're probably going to end up using Rain Dance as well, but the reason why I'm going to use Calm Mind first is for fear of special attacks hitting me. So let's go ahead with a... I want to say Steel Wing would be super effective here. Okay, Protect. I don't think that did anything for you. If you were using Toxic first and then started protecting to stall, I mean, that'd be a different story. Alright, so yeah, super effective. Whereas... Ooh, defense rose too. Whereas Drill Peck would not have been super effective there because Armaldo's half rock typing. And Registeel. Very cool. The Regis are kind of like an unfortunate group of Pokemon, if I was being honest, because the problem with the Regis is that the best way to put it is basically that they do not have the moveset to adequately do what they would want to do. They're all supposed to be tanks. Some people would like to say that they're walls, but there's kind of no way that they could be walls with the movesets they are. Now, they could be walls if they had stuff like recovery moves and other things like that, but because of the nature of their recovery, which is basically rest and leftovers, they are relegated to using such things as, like, I want to say, like, stat boosting moves and then just high powered moves. Some of them like going mixed too, even though it's not necessarily recommended. Let's try Steel Wing here. Hydro Pump. Wow, that did a frightening little amount of damage there. Super effective. Alright, so Toxic. This is coming from Suicune. I want to put Cradily on a Toxic. I'm going to be doing that this turn, actually. Confuse Ray. Cradily used Confuse Ray. Coming for Skarmory. That Confuse Ray is terrible. Attract is terrible to be used against you, that is. Obviously, we want to use it ourselves, of course. Is that hypocritical? I don't know. You ask the CPUs. Alright, so... let's see. Toxic U. Hopefully this actually hits. And we missed the Hydro Pump, and we hurt ourselves in Confusion. Superpower. A cool-looking move, but overall a terrible move, in my opinion. Unless you're using it on a Pokemon that can somehow ignore the penalty, or use the penalty in his favor, or is a special attacker also, it's kind of like a pointless move in my opinion. Well, Skarmory is not going anywhere. Let's just be real here. It's just unfortunate that we weren't able to hit the Toxic on Cradily. We're not going to be able to this turn either. Yeah, a very Wally spammy team here. Hurt ourselves in Confusion. Registeel use Iron Defense. Don't worry, bud. We're not using physical attacks to attack you. I promise. This Registeel is going to be a difficult issue. Let's just put it that way. I think, unfortunately, this is going to be Suicune's last turn alive. Cradily used Protect, it failed, Suicune is confused, but still used Hydro Pump and did not miss. Thank you. Alright, Registeel is quite damaged. Alright, used Toxic and did not miss that either. Cool. Awesome, that means Cradily is now on a timer. And Registeel is not necessarily on a timer, but we really don't have to worry about him. The moment he used the first superpower was the moment he basically nerfed himself. He is now -2 in attack, so we're going to go ahead and pull Raikou out here and start using some Reflect and Calm Mind. That's exactly what we're going to do. It's unfortunate that the rain is going to be gone by the time we could actually use it. To our advantage, that is. Neither one of these are going to do any damage to Registeel. I almost want to just double team here. Kind of a stally, tactic, and, not really the greatest thing we could be doing right now, but what else are we going to do? We're not going to be able to do much damage to either Cradilly or Registeel with the current Pokemon we have out here. Except for, once we get Calm Mind going, a couple of times on our good friend Raikou there, we're going to have pretty much no trouble blasting through either of these Pokemon. And Cradilly, like I said, is on a timer, so that's pretty good. Let's go with Calm Mind here, and double team. Alright, cool. We're actually getting some use out of our turns. Snapped out of Confusion, awesome. That's, what, 2 double teams on Skarmory so far? And Registeel used Superpower. And look at how little damage he's doing. He only has, what, like a base 75 attack and special attack? And he's already nerfed his own attack power, what, 3 times now? Alright, so now we are on a timer. This is very unfortunate. Hopefully, we can get some Thunder Spam and actually hit. Alright, so, double team, I guess? Alright, Registeel. It would be nice if he got paralyzed, and he did not. We're going to need a few Thunders to hit in order to beat this Registeel. Unfortunate. I probably should have used my Flygon and Entei partnership there, but the only problem with that was that neither of them would, well, actually I should say Entei would not like an Earthquake coming his way. Alright, so Thunder. Let's just go. Yeah, we don't care about you, Cradilly. You're gone next turn, I believe. Either this turn or next turn, actually. Alright, Thunder actually hit for health. Alright, so I was actually afraid that Drill Peck wasn't going to KO there. Registeel fainted. And the reason being is because he's already used, what, like 2 Iron Defenses? I mean, he did nerf his defense, though. So, technically, that's not the case. But here we go. Player defeated Hunter Speds. Yup, just as I thought. Battle results. Win. We lost 2 Pokemon. So we don't, because we lost 2 Pokemon, even if you just lose 1 Pokemon, it's not considered a flawless victory, obviously, so we don't get a continue. We don't earn one. You actually don't need to earn any continues in order to continue, as long as you don't lose the battle. We should be coming across other legendary Pokemon soon. I wonder what legendary Pokemon will be next. Can you keep up with my speedy skills? Mount Battle versus 100. Guy Botkin has Regirock. He has a Skarmory too, which is pretty darn intriguing. This is going to be a hard fight, I think. And that is because of his team composition. It depends on what he chooses to go along with his Regirock. So Blaziken and Sceptile. That's actually perfectly fine. We can KO both of these guys, I believe, turn 1. As long as I play my cards right here. And I don't believe either one of them can KO my... Even doubling down, I don't think either one of them can KO either of my Pokemon right now. Alright, so we're going to go with Earthquake because that's just what we need. Leaf Blade. Don't crit. Please don't crit. Okay, it wouldn't have KO'd even if crit, but yeah. That's a scary thought. Sceptile is gone. Yeah, I kind of figured that Drill Peck was going to KO Sceptile. He's not much bulkier than Grovyle, and I've been KOing Grovyles left and right with my Drill Peck all the same level as well. So. Sunny Day. Intriguing move. Super effective. Blaziken is gone, so I was correct in my thinking. And Guy Botkin sent out Regirock. So this fight went a whole lot easier than I thought. I was very glad not to see. If he had brought in Swampert, it probably would have been a little bit of a more difficult challenge here. We're going to go ahead and start spamming some moves. Regirock is quite bulky. I actually love the way he looks in this game, too. He looks very... The stone on him, well, he is made of stone, looks very sleek. Regirock is probably my favorite of the original Regi trio. Power. That's really unfortunate. We were going to start spamming next turn with some Earthquakes. Alright. Yeah, I think you're doomed, Regirock. We're going to go ahead and use Suicune here. Sunlight kind of stinks, so what we're going to do is, first we're going to Calm Mind. Or should we? Yeah, let's just Rain Dance. And then Toxic, sure. Put Regirock on a timer. It's always good to be able to do that against Stally Wallies and tanky Pokemon. You can't always do it, like Registeel, for instance. The only way we could have done that with him is if we had Will-O-Wisp or some way to burn him. Because he can't be toxic. So, Curse. Attack, Defense, Rose. Toxic is working its magic. Alright, so Calm Mind, why not? Let's do a double team here. Since we're playing setup, let's go ahead. This Regirock doesn't know what's about to hit him. Alright, so next turn we're going to be attacking full on out. Curse is a great move. I actually really love Curse on the Regis, at least the original Regis, because it makes sense to have a move that does that particularly. I just kind of wish that the Regis had recovery moves and other means to like survive, as well as like walling, better like for instance, Registeel would make he would be blessed. Let's just put it that way. If he was able to use Cosmic Power, it would be the perfect defensive boost for him. But, you know, not every Pokemon can be perfect. Suicune's attack missed. Steel Wing. That's a pretty fair amount of damage, considering that he's buffed his defense. Ooh, Zap Cannon. Wow, that did next to nothing. But it always paralyzes. That's one of the cool things about Zap Cannon. It's unfortunate, though. I mean, well, it's not really unfortunate. It's kind of weird that the Regis all get Zap Cannon. I understand the reason behind it. It's so that they can have a damage-dealing move that gives paralysis, but I would almost rather use Thunder Wave in a way, because Zap Cannon only has 50 accuracy. which is absurd. I'm actually sure that at one point it only had 40. But I don't know for a fact. It's just my memory from when I was younger, that being the case. And there we go. Reggie's rock fainted. Player defeated. Guy luck. I still haven't become all that I could be. I almost want to say that the very next fight is going to have Reggie Ice in it, which would be almost typical. Let's find out, shall we? Wouldn't you know it, gamer guys and gals, we have reached the next legendary battle, a couple away from the last, and it's kind of weird that there was 2 in a row and then just a gap. Very weird, especially because of I'd really like to show you an authentic battle. We're fighting area leader Neblek, and he has Regice. Why does he have Regice? Like 3 battles after the last Reggie when they were in a row. It's just very weird, I guess you could say. Alright, area leader Neblek would like to battle. And he sent out Starmie and Meguton. Alright, so the idea here is obvious Earthquake. And then we'll just attack into Starmie with Skarmory. So, Earthquake, and let's go Drill Peck. Rain Dance. Interesting. Not really going to help you. In fact, that actually helps my teammates in the back if I need them. So, good on you. But you're about to lose both your party Pokemon right now. As I thought. Imagine if Tyranitar had Stab on Rounders. Oh, wait! We don't have to necessarily imagine that. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are going to give that possibility with the new Terrastalizing mechanic. Which I gotta say, I know that we're playing Pokemon Colosseum right now. I think that Terrastalizing mechanic sounds cool, but looks dumb. I cannot stand the crowns. I think they are abysmal. Alright, let's go Earthquake here first. And Steel Wing, why not? Thunder. And it had to hit, didn't it? Ooh! We survived. Good on you, Skarmory. You doing a great job, might I add. Yeah, Regice is, unfortunately, I think, the weakest of the Reggies. Just because, mostly due to the typing, as well as the fact that Regice... well, it's mostly due to the typing, really. But everything that would be super effective against Ice that you would want to use against Ice is physical. And Regice doesn't have as much physical defense as special defense, which is odd, to say the least. Player defeated, area leader Neblek. You get my stamp of authenticity. Thank you, I appreciate your stamp of approval. Defeated that battle very quick. A perfect win. Congratulations. Yes, we're going to continue to battle. I'm going to be finishing this today, all in one beautiful episode. And, you know, that's pretty incredible because we actually only have 10 more zones left to fight, 1 more area. And it's kind of incredible. 1,842 Pokecoupons. We're at 6,106 Pokecoupons on this Mount Battle Challenge. Yes, we would like to advance. So, this is where I was having an issue. You actually get a lot more Pokecoupons from playing the post-game Mount Battle, I'm pretty sure. And it depends on the areas you beat. But basically, if you want good access to Pokecoupons, this is a way better way to get them than the in-game Mount Battle. I'll just throw that out there for anyone who would need the information. Also, another thing I wanted to bring up before we move on is how that there's a couple of different ways that you can trivialize this game. There have been times I have played through this game and have never used Mount Battle in the story mode. And the reason being is because I would always use the legendary Pokemon. But there is a couple other ways that you can trivialize this game. Pokemon like Quagsire are really good because of his defensive typing. I strongly suggest Quagsire if you're going to use him. Gliscor is even not that bad. There's a couple of very interesting Pokemon, but one Pokemon in particular stands out even above the legendaries in a way, at least during the main story of the game, and that Pokemon is Misdreavus. The only ghost type that you can get in this game, and you get it very early. You get it at Dural Square, so once you get to Pyrite Town, you can get Misdreavus. What's so cool about it is that she has Levitate, as well as she's a ghost type. That means she's immune to ground, normal, and fighting type attacks. And for some reason, the CPU in this game, the AI or whatever you want to call it, doesn't know this, apparently, about Misdreavus. Last time I played with Misdreavus, I had many occasions where normal or fighting type moves were used against my Misdreavus and it was unaffected. And it's like, what in the world? What's the matter with you folk? Like, I'm pretty sure they have some kind of, Game Freak has some kind of coding in this game to prevent that, but apparently not. It's one of the reasons why I kind of wish that you could get more Gen 3 Pokemon in this game. I thoroughly wish that if they were to do a remake of this game, that they would have like routes in between the areas and actually make this kind of like a full-fledged Pokemon game in a way, because the Pokemon that you can catch in this game kind of really stink. I don't like most of them. Because they happen to be Gen 2-ish, Gen 1 Pokemon, and they're just boring, bland Pokemon, and most of them are weak. It's one of the reasons why this game is so hard compared to other games, is because you have a weak roster. Now, I'm not saying flood the game full of like really strong Pokemon, but it would be nice to have some interesting Pokemon that you could catch, things like Scizor, or like for instance for me, if you could go on one of the routes, even if it was like mid to late game route, and find like a Nincada or a Ninjask or a Shedinja, that would be wonderful. If you could play with Shedinja in this game, I'm almost certain that there are certain teams and battles that you could fight where you wouldn't need to use any other Pokemon than Shedinja, because that's how bad the AI is in this game at times. So, as per my recommendation, I kind of recommend that you don't use the Master Ball glitch, and if you're going to, that you just use it on the Pokemon that you get the Master Ball afterward, after you get the Master Ball, that is, and just collect the legendaries once you get them, because they can help you. And being real though, you can still have a hard time with this game, because the game is stingy about its levels, stingy about its grinding unless you want to be bored to tears, and it's just stingy about the experience gain. Like how we went from needing to be from level 35 to 45 in between 2 fights. That's crazy, but there are other jumps like that. Like, for instance, there's pretty much no legitimate way, unless you grind to the max, that you're going to have Pokemon even similarly leveled to Evice. It's just not going to happen. And I like that. I think it's cool. I think it added some difficulty to the game. But as you saw, like, even though I wasn't using the greatest Pokemon in this game, as long as you play smart, you can still beat it. It's sort of like how people will say, well, Cynthia's the hardest enemy boss in all of Pokemon. And it's like, well, have you tried Ice Beam? I mean, there's some people who would be like, well, what about Spiritomb? Have you tried anything? Spiritomb is not exactly a world-beaten Pokemon, and neither is Garchomp. Some people will say he is, but a stray Ice Beam can pretty much KO him from any Pokemon, especially if it's Stab. Like, especially if it's Stab. If it's Stab, just call it quits. It's done. It's over with. So, but the point that I'm trying to make here is that I just like the way that this game is designed, but I kind of want some more. This game is one of those games where it's like they did so very well with it, but it needs more added to it. Just a little bit more love. And you can tell that especially with things like Mount Battle. Well, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and move on, and I'm going to make an obvious cut for the next legendary Pokemon battle. We have several left, so be prepared for that. Back again for yet another legendary battle. Which one do you think is next? You know, Pokemon battling is a sport. Yes, it is. Trainer number 93, Athlete Elysia, has Latios. Quite the dangerous Pokemon, let's be honest here. And though I want to start with Raikou and Suicune, I think it's still best to start with the tried and true. Yeah, this is the reason why I started with the tried and true. I figured that these Pokemon trainers are keeping their best for last, basically. I've never seen any of them not use the legendaries, so that would be another oddity if that was a thing. But don't have any clue, so we're gonna have to figure that out. Maybe one of them won't, just to prove me wrong. Glalie used Double Team. Yeah, that's about the only useful thing you're going to be able to do. Glalie is an unfortunate Pokemon. Unfortunate type, unfortunate base stats. I think the only time Glalie ever became useful was when Glalie had, what was it, Moody is the ability? Now that is broken. Like, Moody is such a broken ability. Alright, so we're going to probably go ahead and throw a Crunch Latios' way, because the sooner we deal with that terrifying Pokemon, the better. Please don't paralyze. And it paralyzed. Not surprised. The hacks in Pokemon seem to work for the enemies near all the time. Glalie uses Double Team Steve. Now this is a problem though. Glalie gets to the point where using like 6 Double Teams, we'll be out of luck. All right. That's surprising that did not KO, but oh well. I wonder if that Latios has recovered. We're about to find out. And for the sake of sanity, we're going to both of us attack into Glalie. Why would you use Helping Hand on a Latios or a Glalie? The CPU just doesn't have the intelligence you would want it to, that's for sure. Defense raise. Very nice. If this Rock Slide actually hits, we will have a very nice outcome. Awesome. Okay, Latios is gone. Kind of anticlimactic, but the reality is that people will say to you that some Pokemon are overpowered or broken or this or that or the other, but if you're smart, it doesn't really matter how powerful the Pokemon is, you can win. It's sort of like how back in the day, in Generation 6 and 7, when people would go and play on random battles and use like Mega Rayquaza, they would still always lose. You'd still always lose doing that because you're not going to win. A single stray Ice Beam, you're just gone. And people are smarter than that anyway. You know, they have fairies on your team, steels on your team, all kinds of folks on your team that can beat that out. Player defeated Athlete Elysia, whatever her name is. You battled good, you. No, that's you battled well, you. And we won! A perfect victory! Awesome. That is yet another battle that I appreciate that the Mount Battle in the post game at the very least has legendary Pokemon, because it definitely gives that air of like, wow, this is we're fighting like truly an uphill battle. These are powerful Pokemon. These are powerful trainers. They're not just throwaway trainers. The only reason why it seems like I'm trivializing it is because I'm using Tyranitar. He's like one of the best Pokemon of all time. And in fact, during the metagame of Gen 3, which is when this takes place, he's considered the all-around best OU Pokemon possible in Smogon and in VGC, period. Because he's just that good, even with the fact that he has an incredibly hindering type. His type is great on offense, terrible on defense, but he has such great bulk and such great attack and even decent speed. Like, it's not great, mind you, but he has great special attack too. It's just the combination of this Pokemon. Tyranitar is one of my favorites for a reason. So, moving on, yes, we're not making a cut yet, because it just so happens that our next zone I should say, has another legendary Pokemon. Can you guess which one this would be? You would be kind of surprised, and I have a feeling you might not guess it. Let's try out battling skills for real. Yes, let's. Teacher Elnor has Latias. We've already beaten a Latias. In fact, Battle 51, our very first legendary battle, had a Latias. So it's kind of odd that we're seeing Latias again, but she is still a legendary Pokemon, and I guess, you know, they can, if they're going to reuse a legendary Pokemon, she's perfectly viable reuse. And she starts out with Latias. That's pretty interesting, to say the least. The only thing about this here, though, is that we cannot use Crunch against this Latias because we actually have to take out this Ampharos first, due to the fact that we are going to have quite a hellacious problem if we don't. So let's go ahead with Drill Peck. Thunder Wave. How does Ampharos move first? Choice Scar? Maybe Quick Claw? Maybe Quick Claw? Yeah, one of the things I was considering buying, and I probably should have, with the Poke Coupons, is a Lumberry for this reason. I was actually considering buying a Lumberry for Tyranitar, because Tyranitar does not like status, especially paralysis, because, oh my wow. It's not friendly to him, let's just put it that way. It's not friendly to most Pokemon. Alright, so this turn we're going to go ahead and use Crunch. I almost don't want to do that though, because Kingdra is going to be a terror. If Kingdra has Hydro Pump, he's probably going to one-hit KO my Tyranitar from this health, so we're going to probably double down. Yeah, Dragon Breath is annoying, but not really that detrimental. Alright, so nice little chunk out of Kingdra. Rain Dance. Okay. Pretty sure Kingdra has Swift Swim. That would make a lot of sense. We still get off the Thunderbolt though. Oh. Yeah, Kingdra's Dragon typing keeps that from being super effective, so we did a lot less damage with that Thunderbolt than I was hoping to. Rock Slide, Drill Peck, maybe? Helping Hand. Is this going to be a Hydro Pump? No, this is going to be a Surf, isn't it? Oh no, it is. Hydro Pump. Yep, well, you are gone. I'm pretty sure that would actually KO even my Skarmory, because of the Helping Hand. And the Rain Dance. It's, what, 100% boost? Alright. So we do have Rain Dance on the field, which is really cool for us. Alright, Kingdra needs to go. So we're going to use Thunder on you. Drill Peck on you. I haven't seen the AI miss with a single Hydro Pump this entire run. And there's probably been like 20 Pokemon who had Hydro Pump. Not a single miss. Which is absurd. Mist Ball. Latias's signature. It's a Psychic type move that I believe has a 50% chance to raise special attack, or is it special defense? Don't really know. It's pretty cool. It's not the greatest Psychic move for damage. It's definitely not, but it's still, you know, interesting. So what we can do here, swap to Suicune and throw out a Steel Wing, because we're probably getting an Earthquake this turn. Unless for some reason this Golem doesn't have an Earthquake. Alright. Defense rose again. Not very necessary. Yeah. Earthquake. This is going to do, yeah, pretty much next to nothing to Suicune. Suicune does have the wonderful defense and special defense that everybody loves. Like, that's one of the reasons why Suicune is just such a staple on teams, even to this day, still used. Alright, Hydro Pump, and you're gone. Unfortunately for you, your Golem is not holding that defensive line as you would have expected. Player defeated Teacher Elnor. Oh my goodness, now, aren't you strong? I try my best, I really do. Have continue battle. And we will move on to the next area. Well, that cut was short-lived, as we are back, and we're now on battle number 96. Can you guess what legendary Pokemon would be here? Now's the time, battle. Home stretch is very close. 96 out of 100. Cool trainer, Axelo, has Jirachi. It's not necessarily a legendary Pokemon in the most traditional sense, but still a legendary Pokemon to, you know, some degree. I think we're going to do something very interesting here. Well, very samey for the first two Pokemon, that is. And interesting otherwise. Girafarig and Gardevoir. Okie dokie. So, from my understanding, and this is just how I've seen it, every Gardevoir in this game, regardless of in-game or battle mode, has some kind of Thunderbolt or Thunder coverage or Shockwave or something. So we're going to double down on Gardevoir because she needs to die. She needs to cease to exist in this this team before Skarmory suffers for it. Ooh, Girafarig has Thunderbolt too. Well, Skarmory, it's unfortunate, but you are gone. You know what I could have? You know, very foolish of me. I should have switched out Skarmory. Oh well. Send out Flygon. Now watch them have Ice Beam coverage. Let's just wait for that, shall we? And Gardevoir is gone. Jirachi. Awesome. Alright, so what we're going to do here is probably the most obvious thing we could do, and that is Earthquake. Earthquake spam. You can never have too much Earthquake, friends. Dragon Breath. Sure, why not? I would also use Earthquake on Flygon, except for the fact that, you know, Tyranitar is weak to it, and though he's not going to KO from it, it's still not something I want to necessarily do. So Doom Desire, Jirachi's signature move. And here comes the earth-shattering Earthquake. I'm pretty sure that I've used Earthquake about in like 95 to 100% of every single battle that I have had in this game. Alright, so now we're going to finish off this turn with a good old Earthquake, and I think we're also going to use Dragon Breath. Yeah, Metachan is not going to go down from this because Flygon isn't exactly the strongest special attacker there is. And special defense fell. It's only a 10% chance of happening. Alright, so we'll do one more Earthquake here, and we should be able to call this. Oh, we were going to call this battle finished. Oh, so sorry, Tyranitar. And Entei. We're seeing Entei for the first time this playthrough into Mount Battle Edit. Yeah, so this was a very close battle, considering that we lost 3 of our 4 Pokemon. Alright, so Flamethrower. And unfortunately, Jirachi, you're not surviving a Flamethrower. Even at full health, I don't think you would be surviving a Flamethrower. Even with all your wonderful balls. Player defeated Cool Trainer Attilo. There must be some terrible mistake. No mistake. That was a close battle, that's for sure. Closest I've had so far in this entire Mount Battle. Let us move on, shall we? And moving on to Area 97, we have another legendary Pokemon. In fact, we actually have a few. Are your Pokemon all that strong? I wouldn't necessarily say that. Cool Trainer Desert has Suicune, Raikou, and Entei, and a pseudo-legendary Salamence. This is going to be one heck of a fight. One heck of a fight. Raikou and Donphan. I mean, that's a good, like, lineup to start with, technically. The only unfortunate part about this is that Skarmory here is most likely going to faint. And here's the other unfortunate problem with this. If I switch out Skarmory to either Raikou or Suicune, there could be a serious problem here. Because I'm using Earthquake with Tyranitar to get rid of this Raikou. I don't necessarily have to. I probably should have. I probably should have swapped in Flygon instead of Raikou. Oh well. Yeah, because if we switch into Raikou, Raikou is fainting. If we switch into Suicune, Suicune is fainting. Well, maybe not Suicune, but still. let's go ahead and hope for the best. Yeah, I think that's just a tainted Skarmory. Yep. How incredibly unfortunate. We are already at a severe disadvantage. This Earthquake won't KO Suicune, but it just depends on what else we get hit with this turn. If Donphan over there decides to do an Earthquake, oh man, that's going to be rough. Alright, Entei. Well, now, let's see what happens. Okay, Ancient Power, who you hitting with? And you hit Tyranitar. Very strange. I mean, I guess neither one of the Pokemon were a good choice for you to hit, but I'm okay with it. You know? Alright, Suicune. We're going to go ahead and throw out a good old Hydro Pump. We're still going to do Earthquake, but we are going to do Hydro Pump on Donphan. Sunny Day, pointless. In fact, an entire waste. Yeah, Fire, Water, Electric Core is kind of difficult to deal with if you don't have good ground Pokemon and good coverage against the Water type who would deal with your ground type. And a Suicune. Kind of not at all unexpected. Alright, that Suicune. Hopefully our Suicune is faster than the Entei or Suicune on the field, because, well, we can go with Rock Slide just in case. This is actually very unfortunate. You know what we could do? Switch out Suicune to Raikou. Rock Slide, as long as it hits, it's going to finish off Entei, and also deal a decent amount of damage to Suicune. Alright, so this is why he set up Sunny Day. Very prudent on my part that I swapped out there. Suicune was getting double teamed over here by both of them. And Entei is gone. Alright, see, what's so cool about this next turn is that even if Thunder misses, you know what I gave Tyranitar? Thunderbolt. And for good reason. Tyranitar actually has an incredible moveset. Basically like Rock Slide synergizes with Earthquake because you can hit the flying types that aren't normally affected by Earthquake. Crunch is just great stab. And then Thunderbolt hits the water types that would give Tyranitar an issue otherwise. Because water types are not afraid of Rock Slide, Earthquake, or Crunch at all, unless they happen to be Psychic. Let's see, and we'll just go with a Thunder. And we hit. Unfortunately for you, Suicune, that critical hit was unnecessary. You were gone the moment that Thunder hit. The immediate moment. Hey, not bad. They're pretty strong. Yeah, my Pokemon are pretty strong, aren't they? I was being a bit modest. Alright, that was battle number 97. We have only 98, 99, and 100 to go. Alright, so battle 98. What legendary Pokemon are we going to see here? Ta-da! I'm a toughie. Yes, you are. Roller Boy Pullet has Groudon. Now, this is actually very interesting because I want to say he's going to start the battle with Groudon. At least I would hope so. And because of that, we actually have a bit of a way to pretty well cheese this. And I think you might be able to know exactly what I mean here. Rollerboy Poet would like to battle. Cast Form and Vileplume, so he didn't start with them, unfortunately. But that's actually okay, it's okay. Entei and Flygon. He didn't start with his good old Groudon, but you can be... I think we can rest assured that Groudon's in there. Let's see, Dragon Breath? Yeah, why not? Alright, that did decent damage to Cast Form, but nowhere near enough. This is going to definitely KO Vileplume, at least it should. Stab Flamethrower coming off of Entei. Doesn't have the best special attack ever. I think it's only, what, like 90? I believe he has 90 special attack, or is it 95? One of the two. Groudon. Now this, Groudon's Drought, intensified the sunlight, is the reason why I did not use Sunny Day. Don't need to. That wastes a turn on that Cast Form. And let's just go ahead and use that, shall we? Flamethrower. Groudon used Slash. Incredibly weird for a Groudon. Why wouldn't he have like an Earthquake or something? It's not very effective. I actually don't know why. Well, I don't know. That probably did about as much damage as I was going to do with Dragon Breath, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so do we see something interesting here? Thunder Mist. That only has 50 accuracy in the sun. Are you insane? Let's finish off with Dragon Breath. Well, I hope we can. And we did. Cast Form is gone. I'm pretty sure that Cast Form probably has... I don't know, actually, what wishes that Cast Form has. But it's okay, because Entei is having his time to shine, taking out a Groudon with Solar Beam. Yeah, that's the one thing about Groudon, is usually when I use Groudon, I have Solar Beam on him, because Drought and Solar Beam combo is just, it's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion. Especially because he's a ground type, and water types are his bane, so on and so forth. But it also works against him. It backfires quite a bit, in my opinion. Let's go Flamethrower and Flamethrower. Yeah, I was expecting that Psychic to do a lot of damage, but not KO any of my Pokemon currently, so that's very good that is just how that happened. Alright. Ooh, not even Stab, and Alakazam just took a knee to that Flamethrower. Player defeated Rollerboy Poet. Gong! Lost! I don't know exactly what you mean by gong, but okay. Trainer number 98 battle results. A perfect win against Groudon. Wild. That would not have been a perfect win if that Groudon had a single stab move. Like, anything. Could have had Mud Shot for all we care. Alright, so we just finished Groudon. Who do you think is going to be next in the legendary Pokemon list? Alright, my muscles are warmed up and ready to go. Bodybuilder Folek has Kyogre and the biggest chin in the entire world. And because of the close-up, we can actually see that. Alright, so... I think that's okay. Bodybuilder Folek would like to battle. Giant Chin Man. Send out Huntail and Orifice. Skarmory and Tyranitar, of course. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and Earthquake and Drill Peck Goribus. Doesn't really matter who we go for here. They both have Confuse Ray and other moves of that annoyance, most likely. I don't know for a fact, but the problem is that Huntel and Goribus learn some pretty ridiculous moves like that. They can use them to great effect. Critical hit, awesome. Goribus is gone, which is kind of needful. And Folax sent out Kyogre. The problems have arisen, and they are here to stay. Now, I think Groudon is technically better than Kyogre in some ways, but some people would disagree with that. Kyogre has some pretty nuts capacity to do some just abysmal damage. So we're going to go ahead and Thunderbolt here, first and foremost. And then we're going to Drill Peck. Rock Tomb. I mean, I see what you're doing there, like lowering the speed of Tyranitar would be great. Hydro Pump, and it hit. Tyranitar is gone. But not all hope is lost. We have Raikou. Raikou is going to be faster than all of these Pokemon on the field. Pretty sure. Necessarily, I think that Huntel has Swift Swim, so he might actually be slower. I don't know. I think Huntel has like 55 speed. So we're gonna find out. Okay, Raikou used Thunder first. And super effective. Kyogre still did not faint. It's sort of like, he's paralyzed. Awesome. Sort of like how Solar Beam did not take out Groudon. Though that was a little bit of a different story because Groudon has less special defense, but it was also not stab, so. Kyogre used Thunder. Skarmory is gone, very unfortunately. Alright, so Suicune, come on out. We're going to go ahead and throw out some Calm Minds with Suicune. Raikou should still outspeed Kyogre, but very unfortunately, because of Huntail's Rock Tomb, and then like, very good on the part of the CPU. Like this team is pretty good because what it's basically doing is it's got speed control, which is something that you kind of want with teams like this, where Kyogre is not exactly the fastest thing known to man. There's a lot of electric types that fully outspeed Kyogre and have pretty much no problem dealing a good solid hit against him. Alright, Mantine. Quad Beam to Electric, so that's going to be cool. Ice Beam on Huntail, it's going to be resisted, but we don't really have anything else we can use. I mean, I guess Hydro Pump would probably do more damage. Alright, speed keeps falling. And Raikou used Thunder. This should instantly... I was fully expecting that to instantly KO Mantine there. That was kind of unexpected that he survived. Doesn't really matter, but it was kind of unexpected. Yeah, so the rain and the sun and the sand from the Pokemon in this generation that like immediately spawned them, so Tyranitar, Kyogre, and Groudon, never goes away unless overridden, which is pretty insane. And you can use Hydro Pump, that should be a KO. Yeah. Mantine fainted. Bodybuilder Folax was defeated. I neglected to warm up my Pokemon. You might have. You might have. Battle number 99. Continue. Alright, so this long stairway. Leading up to Zone 100, the very top floor. And the very last battle in Pokemon Colosseum. This is almost what I would say bittersweet. Bitter in that we are leaving off on this adventure. It will soon be very well over. But sweet in that we played one of my favorite games, and I've thoroughly enjoyed my time. I commend you for coming. Let your eyes burn with the glory of the double battle to end all double battles. Mount Battle versus 100, Trainer number 100, and Mount Battle Master in a team. He has no legendary Pokemon, which I almost want to say is a mistake? I don't know exactly how to put it. He sort of has a team that's similar. It's not, obviously, it's not exactly the same, but it's similar to... I think what it does is it takes some of the best Pokemon that we've seen throughout the journey from admins and other folks like that and puts them into one team. So, yeah, we're going to go the good old Mount Battlemaster Entity would like to battle. So if you fight the single battle version of this, you fight Mount Battlemaster Infin. So you're supposed to combine their two names into Infinity. It's a really weird pun that you would not know unless you were to battle Mount Battle in battle mode twice, which is just not something I'm willing to do. Alright. Confuse Ray. Typical? Let's hope we don't hit ourselves in confusion. This is another reason why I wish I had gotten a Love Berry, because it works on Confuse Ray and stuff like that too. And we got the beautiful E-Vice music. Yeah, Tyranitar is basically dead meat. Yep. Basically dead meat. What a waste. That's one thing I actually seriously can't stand about stuff like Confuse Ray. But, oh well, we gotta move on. We're probably going to get more Confuse Rays, let's be real. We're going to definitely use some, like a Calm Mind, maybe Rain Dance as well with Suicune. And then, let's see. Drill Peck on Machamp. Alright, Sludge Bomb, no Confuse Ray, cool. I'm glad with that. I'm okay with that. It'd be even better if we don't get poisoned, which we didn't. Yeah, you would almost want to say that, like, Rain Dance would be better to be used on the first turn because of the fact that you want to get rid of, like, the sand damage. But the issue is that Calm Mind is an offensive and defensive boost, so there is that. Alright, so I'm not using Rain Dance this turn though, because I'd like to get rid of... I would absolutely like to get rid of that Crobat immediately. And then Drill Peck on Ludicolo. Fake Out. Who's that going for, though? Oh, come on. Come on. Another Sludge Bomb. If it doesn't poison, we're still okay. Couldn't flinched. Very unfortunate. Ludicolo is fated. And Rhydon? You didn't even use Salamence? How very anticlimactic. Entity, what are you doing? You have one of the best Dragon-type Pokemon, especially in this generation, and you say, to heck with it? I mean, whatever, but I certainly wouldn't have chosen the 4 without him. Alright, that's a confused Ray. I think we pretty much got this battle in the bag, unfortunately. Ice Beam. Coming off of Calm Mind Sweep. Yeah, this battle is in the bag. In the bag yesterday, in fact. Steel Wing. It's pretty much guaranteed that Rhydon has nothing he can do against Skarmory, especially with that defense increase. Though, Rhydon does learn some interesting moves. Alright. We do have 2 more Pokemon, though. Very unfortunate that Tyranitar, the star of the show, the star of this series, this whole game, this Let's Play, at least since the battle with Evice, after him, that is, just had to go the way of the Dodo Bird. Well, unfortunately, Rhydon has terrible special defense. This isn't even stabbing and almost KO. It's not even super effective and it KO'd, almost. And Rhydon fainted. Player defeated Mount Battlemaster Inity. The coordination between not only you and your Pokemon, but also the among you Pokemon. I can't even read that fast. Mount Battlemaster Inity lost. And we obtained 9,176 Pokecoupons. To celebrate your mastery of purification and battling, Ho-Oh arrived. Ho-Oh was transferred to the PC. Would you like to save the Pokecoupons and Pokemon you've obtained to the memory card in slot A? Yes. Your progress has been thoroughly saved. And we can get out of here. We can continue the story. It is okay to continue from here. And we can look at our storage. We get a level 70 Ho-Oh with no item, which I'm just going to say this here. I'm not trying to be a downer, but Ho-Oh, okay, has a special item that only he can obtain. And that item is the Sacred Ash. Now, you can get it in later gens somehow, some way, shape, form, whatever. I don't understand why Sacred Ash doesn't come with Ho-Oh here. And why he comes in a regular Pokeball. But besides that, Ho-Oh is an abysmal powerhouse. Actually has way more attack than special attack normally, but because of calm nature, that's just not the case here, unfortunately. But some would probably say fortunately, because the only part of Ho-Oh that likes the physical attack side of things until Gen 4 is his flying type attacks, which he doesn't even have one. He has Fire Blast, Sunny Day, Swift, and Recover. Does he learn? I want to say that he's supposed to learn Sacred Fire. I hope that Ho-Oh is capable of learning Sacred Fire sometime after being obtained, after level 70, that is. So that's that, folks. That's that. That's the whole of Pokemon Colosseum. And what's so crazy about that is that we have gone quite the distance. Quite the distance, in fact. Incredible. I want to thank you for joining me as we traveled through this adventure all the way through the Orre region, using our wonderful and beloved Pokemon, the Master Ball 10,000 times, and even coming to a point where we have completely just ruled over both Mount Battles, all of the Colosseums, Evice, Cypher, Team Snag'em, Gonzap, all of them, Nascor, defeated them all, and really ended this journey with quite that big of a bang. I mean, Entity is kind of a bit of a letdown there. A bit of a letdown. But what can you do? Pokemon Colosseum. Completed, you are. Completed. And as a bit of a tradition that I have started and would like to continue on in all of my Let's Plays and any of my, I would say, commentary videos that aren't like scripted or anything like that, at the end of my Let's Plays, I want to talk. And talk I shall about any of my opinions, my views, my points, anything that I have as a last hoorah, if you will. Pokemon Colosseum is amazing. If you've never played this game, it's worth the play. Is it worth the buy right now? Not necessarily. It's one of the reasons why I really wish Nintendo would remake this game. It desperately needs a remake. This game needs a remake. There's a lot of clunky, old mechanics in this game that need fixing up, patching. Like I said earlier, I would love it if they would bring routes to this game or some other way to catch more Pokemon, especially like more Gen 3 or more modern Pokemon, and maybe like throw some more mechanics into it, throw some more shadow Pokemon moves. Even XD did this a bit with more shadow Pokemon moves and abilities that you can use with it and stuff of that nature. And that stuff is cool. We need some further innovation on this because Pokemon Colosseum, the Orre region as a whole, is incredible. And it's a fun journey. It's very battle heavy though. If you are less about battling in your Pokemon RPGs, this is probably like the least toward you video like Pokemon game there is. It just is, because this is probably one of the most battle heavy games in all of the Pokemon series. Part of that has to do with the fact that there isn't much travel, and that has to do with the fact that there are no routes. So there is kind of like a give and take with it. So yeah, it's cool, but yeah, it also has its flaws. And personally, I think some of those flaws could be fixed easily, and all they would have to do is add a little bit here and there. The game has great graphics for its time of day. Great graphics. Now, I wouldn't say it's up to snuff with necessarily the Pokemon games of today, but I would say that I do actually like the tone of graphics and the colors and stuff like that in this game better than most modern Pokemon games. And the reason why is because this game was made. This series was made. The Orre region was made with a darker tone in mind. It's post-apocalyptic. You are a protagonist who is an ex-member of a bad guy organization, which is so cool. So cool. Just incredibly cool. And you're a little bit older too. Wes is like, I want to say like 17, 16, something like that, instead of the usual like 10, 12 years old that most protagonists in Pokemon are. I'm kind of grateful about Scarlet and Violet basically having like upper teenagers as well, because that's my problem, is like I would rather they went with a little bit more darker tones in some of the Pokemon and a little bit more like realistic, like bad guy kind of thing, rather than this like silly fairy tale-esque thing. Now I understand, I even said this, that these games are geared towards kids. They should not bend the knee because of me, or anybody else complaining for that matter. It's just a thought that I have, because that's one of the reasons why I love Colosseum and XD so much, is because they have that grittiness to them, that dark and that kind of like the evil tones to everything going on in the story. It's very much less fairy tale and more realistic, and I like that. I think that's cool, and it has its place in storytelling like this, and so does the other side of Pokemon. They both have their place. I have the unfortunate feeling that the Orre region is never going to get remastered or remade. And the reason why is because the Pokemon Company said, hey, Genius Sonority, here's your game, make it. And Game Freak had no part in making this. Genius Sonority was absorbed into Game Freak, partially, and it's just, now this is pure speculation, but I almost want to say, like, Game Freak has some kind of, like, hatred towards this game because they didn't make it. Which is weird. It's very weird because Game Freak, the Pokemon Company, and Creatures Inc. all have an equal stake in the Pokemon. Genius Sonority was just an offshoot developing team of one of those three companies. I can't remember exactly which. So I'm hopeful, very hopeful, that soon, and very soon, we would see a remake of this game. And I say remake and not remaster because this game does need some touch-ups. But I also know the reality is that it's probably not likely. So, with all that being said, I do want to thank you for joining me. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining me as we delve into more wholesome gaming. If you like my content, please like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, and all those glorious, wonderful things to keep me afloat and doing what I'm doing. I pray that one of these days we'll have a great, wholesome gaming community together where all gamer men and gamer women can gather and enjoy gaming together without silly politics or trifles or ignorance or foolishness or people's stupid ideals. And there's a lot of stupid ideals nowadays, aren't there? Especially nowadays. Well, with all that being said, again, I want to thank you, bid you farewell, and have a great and glorious day gaming. I'll see you in the next bit of content I decide to make. What will it be? Who knows? But we can look forward to, like I said, Pokemon Scarlet. I'm definitely playing that when it comes out. And whenever the Advance Wars Reboot Camp decides to get off the shelf in the warehouse and get onto my shelf where I can purchase it, we'd be playing that too. Thank you again. I'll see you all later.